Hi guys, I'm Mr. Raguy92 posting yet another YouTube video. The NFC and AFC championship games are now over. We know which teams from either conference will be playing in the Super Bowl. The Seattle Seahawks will represent the NFC while the Denver Broncos represent the AFC, and both games were very memorable. The Denver Broncos will start off with the first one, the AFC championship game. Denver winning that one 26-16, a great game again by Peyton Manning, 400 yards and two touchdowns. He played very well. I was surprised at how one-sided that game was. I thought it would be a much more evenly matched game, but I think New England's injuries finally caught up to him, losing guys like Rob Gronkowski, losing guys like Aaron Hernandez to a jail sentence, and losing Wes Welker via free agency. I think that finally caught up to them, and Tom Brady didn't have the weapons that he had before. And granted, that was what got them to the AF. They got to the AFC Championship with that team. But when you're playing against a team like the caliber of the Denver Broncos, it's very tough to go, tat for tat, drive for drive, blow for blow with them when you just don't have the weapons that they do. The Denver's run defense was very impressive. They shut down LeGarrette Blount very well. I thought that would be more of a problem for Denver throughout the game, but it wasn't. Stephon Ridley was really the only running back that was able to do much, and that was off of screen passes. So New England's running game was not really anything to write home about, unlike the previous week against the Colts. And Denver goes to the Super Bowl. They have been the best team in the AFC all year. Broke the record for most points in a season. Peyton Manning broke the passing touchdown record in a single season and the yards record for a single season. So this is the best offense in the NFL, and they are four deep at wide receiver with Demaryius Thomas, Wes Welker, Eric Decker. All three of their wide receivers could be a number one or two on any other team, and their tight end Julius Thomas is one of the rising up-and-coming tight ends in the NFL. Definitely top five, I think, and has had a great season. And then on the other side of things, the Seattle Seahawks beating the San Francisco 49ers. I actually didn't watch the second half of the game. I watched a bit of the first half, and when I stopped watching it, it was 10-0 San Francisco, and I knew that it wouldn't stay that way. I thought that San Francisco would still win, but I was surprised that Seattle stormed back the way they did, winning 23-17. After the game, everybody knows about it. Everyone that's involved in watching football or even sports in general, everybody's heard about it. Richard Sherman had a lot of words to say with Aaron Andrews after the game was over. He didn't say them, to Aaron Andrews. It was more towards Michael Crabtree. I guess there's some beef there that he wanted to address and show to the world that Crabtree is not as skilled as people realize in his mind, and he is the best corner in the NFL. That's what he's saying, and I really don't have anything bad to say about the guy. As much as people have been complaining about the fact that he would win, win and talk like that, and not win graciously, I don't see it that way. I think that the Seahawks want respect. I feel like they feel as if they're not getting the respect that they deserve, and I really don't think they are. You got to think that a lot of the guys on their team are guys that weren't really highly touted coming into the draft. And Seattle, Pete Carroll being a former college coach when all those guys were in college, saw the potential in those players and saw that those guys are very good, and Richard Sherman was one of them. So that was a very dramatic statement from him, and I think that put everyone on notice that, like, wow, Seattle is very emotional the way they play the game, and that could be good and it could be bad. We will find out come Super Bowl time. It's going to be a very good Super Bowl, Seattle versus Denver. I do see Denver winning it. I think that Denver will win it, and it'll be a very close game. I'd say probably 28-24. One of the closest Super Bowls ever, I think. Peyton Manning is just too hot right now, passing, and each game he's putting up close to 400 yards, it seems like, with multiple touchdown passes. I just think that Denver's offensive line is so good, and they were really able to protect Peyton Manning well throughout the whole season. Even losing left tackle Ryan Clady for the rest of the year, they were still able to pick the pieces up and move the ball down the field with the really great receivers. As I mentioned earlier, they have the best receiving core in the NFL. No one is even close to them as far as top to bottom. Even Tremont Holiday, even their kick returner, is one of the best in the NFL, even though he's had some troubles with fumbles this year. But I really see Denver winning it. I see Seattle, showing up in the first half, maybe picking Peyton Manning off a couple times in the game, but and that will bring them close to Denver. But I see Peyton Manning winning it late in the game and having a really legendary performance. I really hope. I've been hearing things about Peyton Manning that this might be his last season. I really hope it's not. As a fan, as a journalistic internet journalist, or whatever you'd want to call me, I do think that it would be a good way to go out if he were a Super Bowl champion, winning against the best defense in the NFL with the best offense in the NFL. I really see it as an amazing feat for Peyton Manning to go out that way. And if he does win, I would not be surprised if he did retire. But I would definitely miss watching him play. That season when he was out with that neck injury and Indy finished with the worst record in the NFL. The NFL was just not the same without him. And I really think it wouldn't be the same without him if he were to leave the NFL and retire. I wouldn't really see it as him retiring. I would see it as kind of him quitting in a way, because without that neck injury, he was going to play up into his 40s, and he's almost into his 40s now, and you can't take anything away from him that he's accomplished. But I just I hope that there is more from Peyton Manning and more to come from him. But I see Denver winning the Super Bowl. I see them winning it 28-24. Peyton Manning late game heroics. I see Seattle coming out with their heads cut off and running after people and bringing people down, going after Peyton Manning early in the game. Seattle is definitely dangerous, and people need to give them the respect they deserve. I love both teams. I think both teams are amazing. I think both teams' coaches are great. I really have nothing bad to say about either team at all. I think that this is the Super Bowl the way it's supposed to be. I predicted before the season started that it would be Broncos and Seattle, and I'm really glad it is. I'm really glad that there isn't any other matchup other than this one, and I think this Super Bowl is going to be amazing. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think of my prediction, and let me know what you think about the Super Bowl after the Super Bowl once I post my post-game reaction to it. Thanks, guys.